I speak life to give life. Speak life to those that are living and also to those that are dead. Speak words of life with the power to uplift those that are dead and with the ability and the power to guide those that are living if they see fit or if they are fit to travel with light or fit to take direction. And it's not about controlling anyone. It's not about manipulating anyone. It's not about imposing anything onto anybody. It's not about that. It's just about sharing light, sharing information, sharing knowledge. You know, what's the purpose of hoarding knowledge, hoarding information? Just to keep it all to yourself. Honestly, once you start walking the path of light and you gather knowledge, you accumulate light, true light, you want to share it with others. You want others to be able to see the light, to be able to see what you see. You don't want to keep it to yourself. You know, that's why early on, a lot of people, when, you know, they come into knowledge or come into higher levels of knowledge or higher levels of knowing, they tend to come off a little strong with their approach, how they deal with people, how they talk to people, the things that they choose to talk about, and their passion about these things, almost like they're trying to win people over or trying to prove or convince someone that what they believe or the lifestyle that they're living is incorrect. And all of that may be true. But the thing is a person can only see what they have the ability to see. Some people don't have the vision to see certain rays of light. They can only see the basics. Anything beyond that is beyond their eyesight. It's beyond their level of sight. There are things that people can do to enhance their vision, but that's a choice. It all boils down to a choice. But yeah. When you gather information and you receive information, you want to share it. You know, some people they get so excited about it, they may tend to prematurely move, prematurely try and conduct or guide other people. And I mean, they have good intentions, but patience is required. Discipline is required. You know, a lot of people may have the knowledge, but they don't have the discipline to go along with it. So you have some people that may speak about things, talk about different things, but they may not be living the lifestyle that they're talking about or they're promoting because they haven't developed the discipline. That's a very important factor. You know, just knowing, that's half of it. You have to be able to apply what you know. See, that's when knowledge leads to wisdom. Knowledge is what you know. Wisdom is what you've experienced. Experience, that comes with trial and error. The mistakes that guide us. The experiences that we learn from. Whether positive, negative. It's all an experience that we learn from. So, basically, when you come into certain information, regardless of how excited you may be about it, sometimes you really have to take the time to work on yourself and develop yourself. If you And you have a lot of people that are saying that they're woke. So much so that the term has become a cliche phrase that people just throw around. A lot of these people saying that they're still asleep, they're still in bed with the covers over their head. They're nowhere near awake. They may be dreaming that they're awake, but they're not awake. Then you have others that are awake, but they're still laying in bed. That's the equivalent of a person that knows but doesn't apply. You know, you lay there knowing, but you refuse to get up and apply. If you're saying you woke, why are you doing the same thing the sleepers do? You know better. You have to evaluate the lifestyle that you're living. Are you living a lifestyle or are you living a death style? Is the way you living, is it bringing harm to you? Is it detrimental to you? Is it causing you to neglect yourself physically, spiritually? Is it really benefiting you, or is it catering to your demise? Is it keeping you asleep? Is it keeping you dead? Because you have a lot of deadheads that think that they're living, but they're actually really dead. They're just the living dead. They appear to be living. They appear to be functioning like the living. When they talk, they may even sound like they're living, but inside they're dead. They're spiritually dead. There's a disconnect. They're not connected to their divine source. They're not connected to the source. They're connected to illusions. They're connected to the synthetic world around them, the world of the dead. See, people think this is life, but this isn't life. This is death. Life actually comes after. Life is after this. This is death. People say that you're living to die. What if you're dying to live? If living is dying, what if dying is living? There's so many different things that are going on that are designed to keep us distracted. There's a lot of systems set in place, a lot of programs set in place to keep us in a slumber, to keep us in a dead state of mind. To keep us from reclaiming our true mind, our natural mind, tapping into our true self, the divine source, and what we really are. Activating that hero inside of you, which is just your pineal, your Christ, your superhero, your halo. Whatever else clever you want to call it, that is what it is. It's all about first eye activation, inner eye activation. Tapping into soul intellect. Tapping into the source. The intelligence that comes from the source. See, it's called intellect because it's an act of intel, an act of inner telling. This is the information that you get from the soul, the information that comes from within. Authentic gut feeling. Not a distorted, perverted, or parasitic gut feeling. not a synthetic form of intuition, but natural intuition, organic intuition, true intuition. From the soul to the spirit to the body. But like I said, some of us get caught up trying to move too fast. We get too excited about information and gathering information, and some of us become gluttons for information. We're constantly trying to feed off of knowledge and food for thought, but we're not taking the time to properly digest what we're taking in. Meaning, we're not really taking the time to get a thorough understanding, a thorough understanding of the information that we're receiving. See, unseasoned knowledge could be dangerous to the virgin mind. That's what Elijah Muhammad said. And if you really think about that, what is that saying? What is unseasoned knowledge? What is a virgin mind? A virgin mind is a mind that hasn't yet experienced certain forms of mental penetration. Unseasoned knowledge. It's allowing that virgin mind to be penetrated by knowledge that isn't yet fully developed. It's premature, possibly. Underdeveloped knowledge. Knowledge without direction. It's not ready yet. See, this knowledge hasn't been evaluated. It hasn't been filtered. It hasn't been fully comprehended. So it could be given a purpose or direction when it enters the course. So unseasoned knowledge in a virgin mind is just another way of saying that you're playing with equipment that you don't know how to use. You didn't read the manual. You looked at the equipment. You thought you knew how it worked just by looking at it or just by appearance. You thought, well, it can't be too hard. But you neglected to read the manual to get a thorough comprehension of what this thing is. What this thing's purpose is. Then finding out how it works and why it works. Learning the dynamics of the device, of the tool, of the equipment before you use it. It makes it more, when it's used, when you finally use that equipment or use that tool, you're doing it more precisely. It's more precise. It's done more so with precision. It's done more accurately than as to take that equipment and prematurely attempt to use it or apply it. It can result in some sort of malfunction that could cause harm to yourself or others around you. But like I said, a lot of people, they have good intentions. They just need to slow down a little bit. Stop trying to move so fast. Really take the time to thoroughly analyze the information that they're receiving. Because the more you understand it, the better you'll apply it. So, it just takes patience, dedication. But these are all of the things that make discipline. These are the things that discipline are made of. See, a lot of people, they're so eager and so in a rush, they want to help others. They want to attempt to raise the dead and do these different things. In some cases, in some instances, you have to die to save people, to raise the dead. It takes a lot of energy. So you have to be prepared for that. And some things are just better off left dead. You can't save everything. You can't save everyone. But whatever you do, be sincere about it. Be genuine. Be authentic about it. And about what you're doing. Don't just do it because it's trendy. Don't just run with the fad. Make sure that whatever you're doing, that it really comes from the heart, that it's really true, that it's really genuine. Because there's different levels of consciousness. There's different levels of knowing. You have some people that are on higher levels than others. So you have people that are on lower level. You have people that are on lower levels. They're looking up or looking for individuals that are on higher levels to give them a hand and lift them up. Well, these people have to be careful who they're looking for to help them, or if they're looking for someone to rescue them, because everyone isn't sincere. Everyone isn't genuine. Some people, they're doing it just because it makes them feel good. They do it to stroke their lower ego. They do it for financial reasons, to make money off of people. They do it because they like manipulating people. They get a thrill out of working people's minds and manipulating people's minds and having the ability to be able to make people do what they say. The ability to be able to control other people. And then you have people that they're entertainers. They want to be celebrities. They want to be public figures. They want to be known for something. So they're just doing it for likes, for clicks, for subscribers, for viewers. It's entertainment. These people are actors, imitators. But then they make it bad for those that are genuine, that are sincere, because when you get so much of the fakeness going around, people get turned away from certain forms of information altogether. Certain types of information they just get turned off from, because you have so many people misrepresenting certain cultures. And it's turning people off. It's leaving a bad taste in some people's mouths. You have people being manipulated, people being scammed. But see, the thing is, a lot of people, they're too trusting. They're being too dependent. They're bringing their church mentality, their religious mentality into other levels of consciousness, or higher levels of consciousness, or what some would just call consciousness. And they're making the same mistakes that people that are in the church do. The same mistakes that they make. Looking for someone to lead them. Looking for someone to hold in reverence. Looking for someone to tithe and give offerings to, trusting that they're going to be the good shepherd to lead the sheep to the promised land. That's an illusion within itself. You have to have the ability to be able to discern, to be able to see things for what they really are. There's a lot of dead information out there. You have to be able to cipher between the dead and the living, because you have dead information mixed up with living information. Meaning, you can have someone that could be using a certain tool or using light to mislead people or to blind people, because light can be blinding, just like darkness can be blinding. So you have some people pretending to lead people to light, but they're really blinding people. They're really doing the opposite, leading them into darkness, leading them into ignorance would be a better way to say that. They're pretending, they're perpetrating and acting as if they're leading people into knowledge, but they're really leading people further into their ignorance, because it's all a game, it's all a hustle. Consciousness has become the new hustle. So that's why it's always somebody selling something, someone that has someone to sell you, someone that wants you to buy something from them, to give them something of materialistic value in exchange for a service. And I'm not saying that people should do things for free, because people have a tendency to not value things that they don't pay for. But what I'm saying is, some people are just out to get paid. They have nothing of any real value to give you. But once you pay into that and you buy into that, what you get is what you get. Once you receive faulty merchandise, you're stuck with it. Or you may not receive anything at all. So don't get it confused. Learn to tell the difference between the real and the unreal. Know the difference between the dead and the living. And ask yourself, is the lifestyle that you're living, is it really living? Or is it dead? Is it dying? Are you living a lifestyle, or are you living a death style? Are you ready to walk with the living? Or do you want to remain with the dead? Are you lost in the dead world with the dead, doing dead things, worshiping dead things, consuming dead things? Or are you ready to walk with the living? Are you ready to consume life? The choice is yours.